Alright guys, in the last video we went ahead and installed October CMS on our local web host. So this is the back end, this is the dashboard area, it's kind of the welcome page, and you'll see it gives you some status for your system, gives you a little preview of the front end, and if your theme permits it, you have some options here as well as far as the columns. Now if we go to CMS, this is where we can create pages for the website for the front end. And notice that each page is associated with a URL. It's associated with a route. Alright, and then we can also have folders in here, such as this blog folder with more pages. Alright, so what I'm going to do is open up the installation folder in Atom. Okay, so let's go add project folder, and we want Acme. And then these are the files, okay? And the structure is somewhat familiar because it's built on Laravel. If we look in the config, for instance, the app.php file, it has the provider down here and all that stuff, aliases, just like any standard Laravel website. Same thing with most of these config options. There's also a storage folder. That's where all the assets get uploaded to. And then in themes is where the October themes go, and we're going to create a custom theme. But before we do that, let's go to the back end here, and let's go ahead and create a new page. So I'm going to just click on add, and let's see, we'll call this is the file name. And if you look over here, let's see, where is it? We want to go into, this is the current theme, responsive clean. And this is actually where the pages get put. You can see in here there's a home page, there's the blog folder that we can see from the back end. So when we create a page, it's going to go into there. So let's say contact, and then for the layout we're going to choose the default layout. Okay, your themes can have multiple layouts. If we look over here, you'll see that default layout. And then for the description, we'll just say contact us. And then you can put all your markup in here. So what I'll do is just put an H1, and you can actually use the tab. So if I just do H1 and then tab, it'll actually turn into a tag. Alright, so this is a pretty handy little editor. So we'll say contact us, and let's just put, you know what, I'm just going to paste in a form here. Alright, so this is just your standard Bootstrap form. We're going to go ahead and save this. Oh, actually, we got to put the page title up here. We'll say contact. It'll automatically create the URL/contact, but you can edit this if you want. But I'm just going to keep that. You can also put your meta description in here, meta title. We'll just leave that blank though, and then let's click save. Alright, so it says template saved, and if we look up here, now we have a contact page. So if we go to our front end, let's go to /contact, and there's our page. And if we wanted to add this to a menu, we could go over to our theme, and let's see, we want to go to partials, site, and then there's a header.html file, or HTM, and this is where let's see, actually, you know what? This isn't where I want to go. I want the sidebar, which is this file right here. And then you'll see that there's these sidebar segments. So we have the recent posts, and then follow me. Recent posts is actually a component. You can see it's looping through the posts here. It's the blog post.post component. But what I'll do is copy this, and let's paste that in here. And we'll just call this main menu, and then we'll get rid of that loop, and let's put an li tag here and then an a tag. Now for the links, you'll see the format right here. You need to put the name of the page and then identify it as a page. So this is a link to the home, so I'm just going to put that in there, and we'll say home. Okay, we'll go ahead and paste this in, and let's say contact, and then we'll change this to contact. Alright, we'll save that. reload, and now we have a menu, home page, contact. Now we don't have to do it in our editor. We can actually go to partials, and you'll see site and then sidebar. Okay, so this is what we just did. We just created. So you can use either the CMS, which is probably a better idea, but you can also just update the theme files. All right, I'm not going to get into the entire structure of the theme yet. We're going to do that next, but I just wanted to show you kind of how that works. Now, there's also something called components. All right, so if we click on components, you'll see there's two in here. There's this to-do list, and then there's a blog component. Okay, so this to-do list is actually associated with the demo template that comes by default. All right, you can associate components with themes. The blog right here is more of a standalone component, and you can choose things like the category listing, the post listing, an individual post, and an RSS feed. So you'll see on the sidebar it's actually using this post list. That's where this is coming from. Okay, so this is a component. What we're going to do is we're going to later on create our own component, which will be a list of links. Okay, something very, very simple. Now we also have, let's see, we looked at partials, so you can edit your header, you can edit your meta tags, all that stuff. And let's see, we have layouts. So we only have one layout, which is the default HTML, but you can create multiple layouts if you want. If we go to content, there's no content files, but we could basically create text files here, and you can save them as multiple types with different extensions. Assets will just show us like our CSS files and all that. We can edit all that stuff from here. So for a front-end user, there's really no reason to go into the files, into the theme files. This is a really nice CMS that you could use similar to WordPress or Joomla, something like that. It's just much more lightweight. All right, and you'll see there's a tabbed interface as well, and we'll just close this stuff up. All right, and then for media, we can manage images, videos, audio clips, whatever we want. We can upload that stuff. Blog, okay, so this is where we can create blog posts. If we go to our front end, you'll see we have this first blog post. If I click on that, it'll take us to the individual page for that post. All right, and if we want to create a new post, we can do that. Let's just say blog post 2, and it has a slug, and you can rename this if you want. And then let's just say this is my blog post, and it actually shows you what it'll look like over here. I believe we can put tags in here. Let's see if we wanted to do like an H3. Yeah, you'll see it'll actually show you what it will look like over here. So that's pretty cool. Let's just change that to a paragraph. All right, and then you can choose categories. We only have one, which is uncategorized. And then for manage, this is where you can check it. You can make it published. You can choose a certain date for it to be published. You can put in an excerpt. Say this is my post. You could also upload an image, a featured image. So let's go ahead and click save. And then on the front end, if we reload, you'll see we have blog post 2, and that shows over here as well. If we click on that, it'll take us to that individual page. All right, so let's see what else we have. We have settings. Okay, if we go to settings, we can choose the theme. So you'll see there's a demo by default, but it also has the clean theme, which is what we're seeing now in the front end. And what's really nice is you can actually say create a new blank theme, and then from there go ahead and add all your files, and you can do it from the front end here. Well, I shouldn't say front end, it's the front end of the back end, or you can do it from, from your code. All right, you can also set maintenance mode, which will, I believe, just disable the front end. And then you have, you can manage updates and plugins, administrators. You can add other users and set them to certain groups and certain privileges, mail functions, event logs, access logs. There's a lot of stuff. This is a really nice little system, and it's all built on top of Laravel. The reason why I put this in this course is so that you could see a production-based application that's built in Laravel. Because although we're doing 10 different projects here, we can't do anything like this. We can't do a production type or a production level application in a 10 project course. It would just, it would take a year to develop. All right, so with that said, I also did want to do some coding, not just front end stuff here. So in the next video, we're going to start to create our custom theme.